the happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
And now, with the main news bulletin, this is Grace Msimuko.
Good afternoon. This is 5FM Main News. The headlines. 4 Zambians apprehended in a suspected migrant smuggling case involving 16 suspected Ethiopian nationals. President Hakainde Hichilema affirms his desire to see more Zambians taking up positions in international organizations. And hunger kills 50 people in Ethiopia amid drought. This bulletin is also streaming live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. The details. The Lusaka Regional Immigration Office has apprehended 4 Zambians in a suspected migrant smuggling case involving 16 suspected Ethiopian nationals. Immigration Public Relations Officer Namati Nshinka explains as Samson Masuka of Lusaka's Ballaston, who is suspected to be the mastermind, Geoffrey Silver Rest, Kakoma Musumba of Kaunda Square, and Ren Sinkala, also of Kaunda Square, were nabbed during an operation which began as areas at around 09 hours on Wednesday, 22nd. Mr. Nshinka further explains that the operation quickly escalated when immigration officers received information that a white Fortuner registration number BBD 671 carrying suspected illegal immigrants had been spotted near Waterfalls Mall in Lusaka's Silver Rest area. He says following this lead, the officers rushed to the scene and eventually located the vehicle, which was empty at the time, most likely after the driver had dropped off the passengers at an unknown location. Mr. Nshinka adds that officers started trailing the vehicle until the driver, Geoffrey Chumbwe, parked the vehicle, which appeared to have been modified by removing the back seats to maximize carrying capacity.
The operation quickly escalated when immigration officers received information that a white Fortuner registration number BBD 671 carrying suspected illegal immigrants had been spotted near Waterfalls Mall in Lusaka's Silver Rest area. Following this lead, the officers rushed to the scene and eventually located the vehicle, which was empty at the time, most likely after the driver had dropped off the passengers at an unknown location. The officers started trailing the vehicle until the driver, Geoffrey Chumbwe, parked the vehicle, which appeared to have been modified by removing the back seats to maximize carrying capacity.
Meanwhile, the Department of Immigration in Lusaka secured the conviction of a 37-year-old Zambian resident of John Lane compound, Richard Leal, for facilitated human trafficking and aiding and abetting prohibited immigrants. UPND Deputy National Youth Chairperson Trevor Mwinde has regretted the manner in which a 15-year-old boy of Mufulira's Kankoyo met his fate. Recently, a 15-year-old boy identified as Crispin Bunda was reportedly shot dead by a Zambia National Service officer during an anti-Milli Meal smuggling operation in Kankoyo Township in Mufulira on the Copperbelt province. Speaking when he featured on the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue program, Mr. Mwinde said the incident is unfortunate and that it will be wise for the citizens to wait for the investigations to be concluded by competent institutions. He says his office will give a statement based on the findings of the investigations.
Life is cyclic in nature, meaning that it's like a cycle. Even even these my sentences before. And I'm not coming here to act like I have got new magic tricks to do, but I'm coming here to speak facts, and I cannot come here to speak lies. And it's true, but very sad. The circumstances under which the boy who is 15 years was shot, I'm not well abreast to those facts surrounding the shooting incident. But it's quite unfortunate. And I know within our country, there are no people that are trained to kill people willfully. There must have been some sort of mishap somewhere.
And Mr. Mwende has disputed the statements from various stakeholders that the country has a shrinking democratic space. He has urged the youths to ensure that they judge situations case by case in comparison to the past events.
It's impossible. Mr. Mware, it is true. I'm so bitter at the realization that actually the country can be so nice. We were being ill-treated. We thought that it was going to be business as usual. That people can be beaten, people can be harassed anyhow. No, not for no. But after a comparison from where we were coming from and the way things are now, then you still want me to be smiling and speaking English here? No, it's to tell you that what your master did, what your leader did, it was uncalled for, it was not correct. You sent almost all of us to prison. What you were forgetting is that you were just actually improving our capabilities to handle you.
Chief Government Spokesperson Cornelius Muitwa says President Hakainde Hichilema's desire is to see more Zambians taking up positions in international organizations such as the African Union, AU. Mr. Muitwa, who is also Information and Media Minister, said the president is cognizant that Zambians working in international organizations are critical to help the country by presenting its position on key matters where decisions are made. The minister was speaking when he paid a courtesy call on African Union Commissioner for Trade, Minerals and Industry, Ambassador Albert Muchanga. He said Zambians working in international organizations must mirror a positive image of the country to the outside world. The minister also said the presidential directive that any government worker who travels at government expense must produce a report and justify their travel is receiving serious attention. He said government workers, particularly ministers, are expected to present a report during cabinet meetings about their travel and matters discussed in meetings and how Zambia benefited from being part of that meeting. An African Commissioner for Trade, Ambassador Mushanga, said the African Union has a challenge of ministers from member states not attending meetings, thereby delaying continental decision-making. He said there have been instances where meetings have been cancelled for failure to meet the required quorum. This is according to a statement issued by First Secretary Press at the Zambian Embassy, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Mrs. Ingutu Mupango Mwanza. The Lusaka City Council is making frantic efforts to provide more accessible mortuary services to the residents of Matero constituency by constructing a mortuary facility at Matero Level 1 Hospital. The contract sum of the project is 417,995.75 Ingwe and is being funded by the Constituency Development Fund CDF 2022 allocation for Matero constituency with a view to reduce the distance residents travel to access such services. Council Public Relations Officer Nyambe Bulumba says the construction of this facility will ease the burden on the residents of Matero as it will improve the situation and make it easier for everyone to access the necessary services. Mr. Bulumba says the mortuary facility, whose completion rate stands at 55%, was started on 14th July 2023 and is likely to be completed by the 18th of December 2023. He says the local authority is committed to ensuring that the contractor completes the works according to the agreed schedule so that residents can quickly have access to the services. Mr. Bulumba has urged all residents of Matero to take ownership of the facility and protect it from vandals to ensure the facility remains intact for the benefit of both current and future generations.
This particular project will save the community of Matero from walking long distances that have been walking to just simply access the mortuary services because the facility has now been brought near to their localities. This particular project is funded by the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, for Matero constituents, which is 2022 allocation.
In other news trending this afternoon, Center for Peace Research and Advocacy has advised President Hakainde Hichilema to heed to the United States Ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzalez, call to declare his assets, as he is on record of not getting his salary since he assumed office as the head of state. The Lusaka Provincial Administration says the media has a key responsibility to disseminate developmental information so that citizens can appreciate the projects that government is implementing. Up next, business news.
From Radio Business News, we mean business. Keep you current in commerce and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Cross-Border Network Africa says that the signed bilateral agreement between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo to implement and operationalize the Chalwe Kabila one-stop border post will open trade opportunities for cross-border traders. Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipo Kamulenga and DRC Minister of Infrastructure and Public Works Alexis Muvuni signed the agreement on behalf of the two countries to implement and operationalize the Chalwe Kabila one-stop border post. Welcoming this development, Network President Bernard Sikungayongana tells F5FM News that the one-stop border post, once actualized, will also enhance trade among the two countries. Mr. Sikungayongana says that the initiative will also stimulate economic growth for improved livelihood for all cross-border traders in the two countries. He has since commended government for signing the agreement, stating that the initiative will help Zambia produce more goods and services that will be exported into Congo and meet the available demand.
To us, what it means that it will increase trade, because the more the leaders go into agreement, the more opportunity for us to trade within the two countries. And I want to recommend the government take such a step, because for us, Zambia, we had no reason to restrict movements of goods. No, there was no reason. And what you are seeing here, we are now increasing more demand for the country Zambia to produce a lot of things that we can export all over the region. And I think this is what is key.
In foreign news, more than 50 people have died in Ethiopia's northern Tigray and Amhara regions due to drought-induced hunger, local officials have told the BBC. According to Tigray's Disaster Risk Management Office, 46 displaced people died after having already left their homes because of drought. The deaths occurred in a town called Yechila, the office's head, Gebriziabe, said. In sports news, Manchester United's footballer Harry Maguire has accepted an apology from Ghanaian MP who mocked him. MP Isaac Adongo had been debating the budget last year when he compared Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia's economic management to Maguire's performances on the pitch. On Tuesday, Mr. Adongo said he wanted to correct the record and hailed Maguire as a transformational footballer. Up next, the weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Northwestern, Luapula, Northern, Muchinga, and Eastern provinces, including the northern parts of Western Province, mainly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to hot, with thunder showers. Maximum temperatures will range between 28 degrees centigrade and 35 degrees centigrade. Southern, Copperbelt, Lusaka, Central provinces, including southern parts of Western Province, partly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to hot, with a chance of thunder showers. Maximum temperatures will range between 30 degrees centigrade and 38 degrees centigrade. The evening will be partly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm with a chance of rain and thunder. The weather brings us to the end of the news. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. 4 Zambians apprehended in a suspected migrant smuggling case involving 16 suspected Ethiopian nationals. President Hichilema affirms his desire to see more Zambians taking up positions in international organizations. Hunger kills 50 people in Ethiopia amid drought. For these and more stories, you can follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM Radio. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Grace Msimuko. Do have a pleasant afternoon.
This news bulletin is sponsored by the Public Service Pensions Fund, PSPF.
Keeping the pension